2, 1. What's up and welcome back. Pro Pels Talk. I don't even know what episode this is. We got a whole new crew in today. We got Lito, we got Jarrett.
Yeah.
Before we get into it, show sponsored by Boot Crew Media and Royal Honda. It's a great time to be at Royal Honda, where they have 80 pre-owned cars available for immediate delivery and 100 new cars like the 2022 Honda Pilot EXL, Honda's flagship SUV. Boot Crew Media is driven and powered by Royal Honda, located at 5600 Veterans Boulevard in Metairie. Visit royalhonda.com to find your new car today. Tough one last night in the blender. Were you there, Jared?
I was not.
Lito was there. I want to talk about this. I thought it was probably one of the best crowds of the year.
It was packed.
It was packed.
Yes.
Lower bowl was packed. Like right at the beginning.
Yeah,
it was a good vibe. Like it was a good, like it felt like a playoff game. I know like there was some
Tuesday.
On a Tuesday. It was a really good showing out. You know, obviously the Suns are in town, but it was good to see New Orleans kind of show out. Just get your initial thoughts on the game. You know, we'll start with Lito first. I thought the first quarter was a lot of energy back and forth. We're hitting shots. And then I felt like the second unit started playing and you kind of saw the disparity in second units, right? So go ahead.
The first quarter, both teams were electric.
Yes.
Suns couldn't miss. We couldn't miss. No team was actually playing defense. So like that was interesting. The second quarter, the game started to even out. In the third quarter, it went downhill.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, they went a pretty big run there we cut it late in the second, and then they went on a little bit of run to close the second, and we went on a run in the third, Jared, and then just it kind of snowballed.
That's what good teams do. They close quarters really well.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we cut it. I think we cut it to even at that point, and then they went on like a 8-9 point run to close the quarter. And that's kind of demoralizing because you had the crowd on your side. I think it was like 2 minutes left. You cut it to even, and they go on a +8 run, and that puts a toll on you. And this team doesn't give up. It doesn't give up.
No.
But when you go against a team that they don't turn the ball over, they don't hurt themselves.
Phoenix's sound, before we got on here, Jared, you were saying that. I mean, just IQ wise, Phoenix is on a whole different level. And I kind of wanted you to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, they understand themselves fully. They do a lot of what we want to do.
Yes.
Like when you see them, it's like, oh, we kind of have these pieces, but yet we're not enough. Jay Crowder probably didn't even have a great game, right?
Yeah.
But you can tell he was making plays or doing things correctly. I'm not saying Jay Crowder is a dumb basketball player or average basketball player, but I think he's intelligent. That makes his ceiling higher. That makes him more effective on the basketball court.
He's a really good player. But we were talking about this earlier. Like, look at who Phoenix coming off the bench with. Like they have a bunch of just winners and proven winners. Yeah, and it just showed last night. Lito, go ahead.
I think like to piggyback off Five. I think that Phoenix is the blueprint.
Yeah,
Phoenix is what you want your team to become. You want Brandon Ingram to develop into Devin Booker. Like you want to. He's going to continue taking steps. That's a very big step. But I'm saying like Brandon has the type of offensive talent that. You know, I remember when Devin Booker didn't play defense, when he didn't even give effort, when he didn't try, you know, so I think all the pieces are gonna be in place where eventually we can do that. We're so far away from that right now, though.
Yeah.
We just that's why I see it. And then the main guy missing last night is Brandon Ingram. I think a lot of people are overreacting about the loss last night. You have a right to be mad and stuff, but if you thought going into that game, like I understand Chris Paul is missing, but that is literally a title contending team, probably the best team in the league. And when you're without Brandon Ingram, it's a problem. And you know, I think Christian Clark came out today. I think he's missed 16 plus games, maybe something around that. I don't know if he's going to play Friday, but you know, Jarrett, to this point, is it possible that this team can't win a game down the stretch without Brandon Ingram? Because that's a problem.
I think they can. Even
I get that they won against Houston, but like I'm talking about a playoff caliber team in San Antonio, Atlanta, Charlotte. These next three.
It's possible now. Likely, probably not. I mean, you saw. I mean, the hard thing is when we getting CJ back, he's trying to get his legs back under.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You saw the first, even though we were hot, CJ was having a really tough game, and I'm not even talking about just shooting, dribbling. Passing,
come off COVID. It's tough.
It's tough one, and some people it lingers on. So you're still trying to gain your rhythm back. Which I think CJ's probably a big rhythm guy.
Right.
Just from the way he prepares and going into it, I think it's going to be tough, but it's possible. I think Willie does a good job, and I know again, Chaz, if you're out there listening, bro, Willie does a good job getting these guys in position. Now it's just up to them to make those decisions. And again, we just don't have we don't have a lot of smart basketball players.
No.
Right. Well, we were talking about it, Lito, before we got on. The Suns were just loading up on CJ McCollum, and with Brandon Ingram, you can't really do that. I don't want to say that he's not a guy that can play injured because I haven't really seen it yet, but Brandon at some point has to be able to manage some pain and play through it. I don't know how severe the hamstring strain is and the Achilles here. I get it.
Yeah.
We're in a playoff push.
Yes. We were saying before the camera started, before the pod started, that CJ is experiencing what Brandon experienced prior to him coming.
Yeah.
They're boxing ones, they're loading up, they're making it really, really difficult. And unfortunately, CJ does not have an outlet without Brandon being there.
Right.
So
it's tough.
It's very tough. And coming back, like you said, coming back, his game is predicated off rhythm, the way he plays basketball. Right. So without that, with coming back from COVID and seeing, Jason Tatum still says it affects him and he had it a year ago.
Right.
So who knows how long it's going to take him to get into the rhythm. But as far as the Brandon Ingram question, I feel you. I think I don't know the severity.
Your thoughts on it go. We don't know the severity, but I'd rather him at 70% than him not play at all.
I think he has played injured.
Yeah, and you can I think you can tell.
Yeah,
because he didn't play well.
Earlier on in the year, I think is that what it was?
Like
wasn't
January, around that area, he came back kind of early.
Yeah,
probably on, because you can tell his legs weren't under again conditioning, but also his 3-point shot has kind of failed him. I think that's all part of his lower body injuries.
Yeah,
because everything is like a kind of a walk in or a catch and shoot three. It's nothing like we were seeing at the beginning of the year. Prior to, he was heating up and kind of fell off, got injured, and it's kind of he's been battling that. And I think just the hamstring is probably a pull and push kind of thing where he's been trying too hard to get his legs on it.
Yeah, and listen, if you follow me, y'all know Brandon Ingram is my guy. Sure. I love Brandon Ingram, but at some point, right? We're in the middle of a playoff. Last year, you could mail it in, I don't care. But this year, it's a little different, right? Because if you take that Lakers spot, obviously that helps you in the draft because they can then fall in the top 10, and then you get that. I just want to see this team. They make the move for CJ McCollum. They have all this momentum going. You got to make the play. That's not too much to ask for.
Man. So look, I don't want to be the negative guy here.
I like it though.
Five said we have low basketball IQ. Justin and I say we don't have
guys
great talent. I think it's both.
Explain.
I think that, okay, perfect example. Najee Marshall is driving to the rim last night. He passes the ball to Jackson Hayes, who is underneath the rim. So instead of maybe taking a second to pump, go up, you can jump out the gym. So I'm not asking for a lot here. Instead of going up or even attempting a shot, he tries to shovel it back to Najee. And I'm just sitting there with my hands on my head, what the hell just happened?
Right.
And why?
I vividly remember that.
Yes. It was.
But it also goes to IQ. It also goes to anticipation. If I catch it here, I know I'm going straight up. Thinking a step ahead, right? That's the problem.
What are we doing?
There's not much.
We don't have.
I think the IQ is the thing. It's not.
Do you think it's because we have a young roster?
Okay, Herb Jones is young,
but he's a 4-year guy. But he's a 4-year guy.
It doesn't. Okay,
that matters. He's played high-level basketball for 4 straight years in SC and Alabama.
He got the consistency of a Baptist preacher. He's different.
That's what I'm saying. And again, that I'm not putting it because, you're a young player, your IQ isn't going to be there. I'm not expecting you to be Chris Paul or Rajon Rondo. I'm expecting you to understand basketball. You're on the fast break. It's 2-on-1. You've done this drill since high school, and you can't get a bucket. They're backpedaling. It's 2-on-1. You've done this passing drill your whole life. You can't get a bucket.
Just little things like that. No, like it's funny, but like it's little things like you learn that like 5th grade.
I know. I'm saying high school. You know, because Jackson didn't play until he got to.
That's right.
That's
right.
What I'm saying.
Like, yeah. So
I'm not even going to say, hey, you've been doing this since AAU as a kid. No, you've been doing this at least since high school.
But at what point? I guess not taking anything away from Jackson, but at what point does it click? Like when does it click there that hey, you know what?
Before you get in, he's got to play. Like he's got to play.
Yeah.
Like COVID, he didn't get summer league. Last year he got in the legal troubles. He hasn't played. Like he didn't get a preseason this year because of his ankle injury.
Right.
I feel like he's showing flashes, but last summer he got into the legal trouble, and that was just a nightmare. We don't know about that. The year before, COVID. Like that was completely a nightmare.
And I'm with you. I totally feel you there. I'm gonna let you have this. Mm-hmm. I totally feel you. My only thing is, you are 6'11" and you can jump out the gym. That has nothing to do with effort on rebounds.
Right. Oh no. I think that's all about IQ because he doesn't understand. He thinks everything is like football. Football is smash plays. It's like you trying to make a play
to the spot.
Yeah, I'm trying to make a play every time. I'm trying to get the dunk, trying to get the crowd involved. He doesn't understand that rebounds are just like those dunks.
Right.
They are probably worth more than those dunks.
Yes.
Because if you get the rebound, the other team doesn't score. That's more important than
completely agree.
Those dunks.
And Lito actually said this before. Like he doesn't rebound very well. Like he doesn't. He doesn't a lot of. And listen, I'm not trying to because Jackson has improved. Like we can all say that. Like Jackson's improved throughout the year. But there's still a lot of things in his game that he needs to improve on.
I think his ceiling's really high. I really believe that.
How are we talking?
Because
did you see a readjust?
Like I think his ceiling's like really not like NBA All-Star level. No. I think he can be like a 10-year plus pro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
he's a freak.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and then he already the hardest part about basketball is learning how to shoot.
He has a great form.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Free throw. 75, 80% free throw shooter.
And I think it's like even from 3-point mid-range, it looks good. Now, if you teach him how to play basketball and understand when and how to take said shots, I'm thinking he's what was your guy that was again my Hornet? I wasn't a Hornets fan.
I feel you.
Chris Paul and
David West.
If he understood how to pick and roll, pick and pop like David West, I think this could be.
If he had David West's IQ, he'd be all Hall of Fame.
But you keep saying IQ playing like these guys are like they're very young, and then you see like a CJ McCollum come in the league who's been in the league 10 plus years. He's a winner, and like you just see how crafty that dude is. Like he's just so crafty. He knows how angles and bodies and leaning in. Like
IQ.
I feel like you just need like when people say like we need another draft pick, it's like no, we don't need another draft pick. We need another like adult in the locker room because all we have is young guys.
And the thing with Jackson too is and I do give him this. Before CJ got on the team, we had terrible guard play. So somebody has to give him the ball. Somebody has to put him in position.
When has he had great guard?
He's never had guard.
Let's talk about a guard that like I've been trying to like temper my like just anger towards him, but Devonte Graham has not been good. He was off to a good start last night. He just has not been what I thought he was. Like I thought he was like a knockdown guy. Like, he's like not like a knockdown guy.
Me and Fire were talking about this on the last podcast or whatever, and I said that I thought he had a much better handle than he does.
Another thing.
But he does not.
CJ has a way better handle than him.
To be that small of a guard, you have to like your dribble has to be on point. You have to be able to get separation in order to get your shots off. He does not have that.
He doesn't
have separation.
He doesn't. He's not great in the pick and roll. He's not great getting in the middle of the lane. He doesn't have a floater. He's just a shooter.
But like, is he a shooter though? Like, I'm not trying to like when you say shooter, what
he's
does
a big shot.
Because I'm a shooter too. I'll shoot the basketball.
I got. Fuck. He just shoots. How
Thank
about
you.
that?
That's a little better.
Okay. He is a big shot maker though.
Oh no.
He
I
is.
like him.
He is. And like in the fourth quarter, I'm okay with him taking shots, but some of his decision making, and as you like to your point, Jared, you want to talk about 2-on-1 situation. He is atrocious in a 3-on-2, 2-on-1 situation. But it leads back to your point. IQ.
He will get into the lane and he will make the worst pass. Like I'm like, all right, man.
We talk about it. I know you want, but like there was a play last time. I'm glad you mentioned it. JV and Jax were on the court together. It was a PNR. I think Devonte put it to JV. Low man steps up and JV. It's an easy lob play. JV puts it in like the third row. It's like you can't overthrow Jackson Hayes. It's like nearly impossible. But like you would see that with Draymond and Looney. Like that is like an automatic dunk or like a James Harden.
You can't say Draymond Green around 5.
Okay, sorry. Let's go with the James Harden Capella like lob. Like you just know it. But like we don't have the guys to like execute that. Just those small little things that in the box score you look at it, oh, it's just a turnover, but like that's a momentum swing. And
Najee got the ball. Somebody forwarded the ball to Najee, or I think JV he saved the ball from going out of bounds. He advanced it to Najee. Najee dribbled to the 3-point line. JV was trailing. So Najee has the lane because JV's man is kind of back, he's dropped. So instead of letting his 7-footer drop down, you take it.
I think he thinks like he's 6'5" instead of 6'11". I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I don't.
But like we're talking, and the whole point of this conversation right now is that we're talking about a lot of holes in the roster. I love the team. I love supporting the team.
Yeah.
The team is fun to watch. I don't have a problem with that. But at the end of the day, you need to start winning some basketball games, and you can't be this bad without Brandon Ingram. Like that just shows you that's a testament to like your roster really isn't that good. If you expect BI and Zion play 82 games a year,
it's not.
I feel bad for you.
And it's so sad you have to preface words by saying I am a fan of the team. Because
people can't take negativity, and like if you're negative all the time, like I try to be positive. We had this conversation.
Yeah. Well, come on,
but it's
man.
okay to call a spade a spade.
You think I'm like watching this for like my health? Like I love the team, but I can't be negative about the team if the team is not good. Not saying that the team overall is not good, but I'm saying roster development, like we still have a long way to go.
Why? All right. So I think it's about society at this point. Why can't we criticize things or critique things? I'm going to say criticize. This has a negative connotation, but it's really not that negative. It's just, I'm telling you something that you should probably know. You probably already know, probably heard it. I'm just explaining it. I'm not trying to tear you down. I'm not trying to, it's not an assassination of your character. It's just, you're a basketball player. It's a basketball entity. I'm not telling you anything about what you do outside of basketball. Just on the court, there's some holes there. And that's all we're doing. We're just showing light on that.
The roster has a lot of holes. Oh, listen, once again, Zion and BI healthy and CJ, like they're a really good basketball team. That still doesn't mean that the bench is very good. I love Jose Alvarado. I love him. I love Jose.
Here we go.
Okay. But I saw a tweet today, I'm not gonna say it, but someone was taking Jose over Kyra Lewis. I'm like, guys, like I get it. Like Jose's like he's a great story and I love supporting him, but Kyra's pretty damn good when if you give him a shot.
Go ahead.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You for real?
You serious?
Yes.
So explain.
Go ahead. Because Kyra has the same problems that
but Kyra hasn't played.
Kyra has the same problems that Devonte Graham has. They're a one-trick pony.
Wow.
Does Kyra do anything intelligent on the basketball court?
I wouldn't know because he hasn't played much.
He showed you enough in summer league. He showed you enough the year prior. Like he showed you probably what he is. All right, he's lightning quick. Yeah. You understand that. He has one speed.
Yes. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Does he shoot the ball really well? No.
Mm-hmm.
Is he great in P&R? No. Like what does he do? He's just lightning fast. Doesn't have a high IQ. What is it that Jose plays great defense? Oh, okay. Again, another 4 years guy. Understood.
IQ guy.
Yeah.
Kyra's a 1 year guy. Or
1 year.
1 year guy.
1 year guy, Alabama.
Yeah.
Right. Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. 1 year guy, Alabama. Very quick off the dribble. Doesn't have a really great shot. Doesn't have a great floater. He's 6 foot, maybe.
Yeah.
What am I missing?
So go ahead.
No, go.
Right.
Go.
So look, in my opinion, because I feel you. Summer league, he was disappointing to me in summer league.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kyra did not start picking. He did not start looking like himself or what I feel like he should look like till right before he got hurt. He had a 2 to 3 week stretch where he was like, I'm like, damn, man. Okay, put it. And this is the thing with Jose. I love Jose. Like me and Justin were saying before this whole thing started. I love Jose. I love the effort he gives. I wish that Jackson would realize that defense's effort is just a mental thing like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But man, Jose not better than Kyra.
But if Jose's, we can debate this all day. But my point being is that if Jose's your first point guard, backup point guard coming off the bench, there's a little bit of a problem. Once again, love Jose. I think there's some other things that we can probably shore up in the offseason to make us a little bit better.
Kyra, I agree with that. If he's playing a large percentage of minutes for your team, I don't think your team is good. That's just me. But Jose,
but his plus minus is
no. I feel you.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yes. I'm just saying. I don't see how.
You don't see?
I don't see how. I'm saying going forward. Right now, he's great. I'm saying going forward, like this offseason, right? If you had the ability to get, I don't know. I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Just a better guard play.
Yes.
Just better guard play.
Okay, yeah. If Kyra, all right, if we were able to get a better guard, I'd be interested to be the guard before.
Well, someone called him untouchable today.
All right, now I didn't say all that. No, that's not it.
How far does your allegiance go? Like,
my allegiance is pretty strong with it because I think he's that good in spots. Right, I'm not talking about your lead point guard for your team. No, like we actually need a lead guard for our team. Well, that's another story for another day. Kyra, one, you got to compare him to his draft class and where he was drafted, right?
Yep. I agree with this.
And you see Maxey, Halliburton,
Cole Anthony.
I mean, people we could have gotten, not Halliburton. Forget you, Sacramento Kings, coin flip. But
yeah, better players for sure.
They're better players even before he got hurt.
But okay, and I'm glad you're bringing this up because I wanted to point out once again, it's been a pretty tumultuous year with the Zion, the negativity, and we have all this positive momentum and stuff like that. The front office still hasn't done that good of a job. Like, yes, getting CJ McCollum's great, but all we talked about in the offseason was guard play and shooting. Have we gotten better in the shooting category? And have we gotten better in the guard play?
That's why I think Herb is like the golden child.
Herb's incredible. I love Herb Jones. That's awesome.
Herb is untouchable.
He's completely untouchable. Okay. Absolutely.
All right.
No, you don't touch Herb.
All right.
So, but what I'm saying though is that we're missing is guys 6 through 10 that get you through the grind of an NBA season.
So
that's where we're missing.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but did Tony Snell play last night?
No, he didn't. He just got moved to the end of the bench. Like he just went, and Larry Nance's going to help, but Tony Snell just randomly. I know he had a rough stretch in this when he started a couple days ago.
Man, I feel like
40% 3-point.
I feel like we're missing a guy that just scored like 44 points in a game, and he's going crazy.
Yeah, but okay, I feel you.
God, I feel like we're missing.
Correct.
Right now.
But if you get that guy,
back,
if you get that guy,
he comes back.
I would love for him to come back. But I'm trading him for CJ like every damn day of the week.
This is not my whole point about that was just saying we don't have a lot of smart basketball players. So I hate trading 1-for-1s. Like, why I got to give up my smart guy because I'm trying to get another. But I understand, the skill level. CJ's great. I just want a lot of guys that play like that. When you go to Villanova, you learn how to play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
It's proven at this point.
Well, that's what Josh is. But to your point, in the offseason, I'm saying in the offseason, we need to focus on bolstering that bench because we need guys behind Zion and Brandon. We've seen it now for 3-4 years. These guys, I love them. They're not 82. They're not 82 game guys. They're not like that's just not who they are.
We need,
and so you have to, right? Like you have to be able to just. All I'm saying is like I got to be able to just have a guy that can come and you can play and plug them. You can put them in the starting lineup, and you don't have this just downfall. They're 2-16 without Brandon Ingram.
Yeah,
2-16. The Grizzlies are 13-2 without Ja.
They're so deep, man. And Dylan Brooks
they're deep and they draft well and they pick and look. We got Najee Marshall coming off the bench. He's a G League kind of guy. Trey Murphy hasn't been that great. Like, I wish they played Trey more.
Yeah,
Jose Alvarado's he's a nice story, but you saw last night kind of got exposed. Like, I'm just saying the bench has to be bolstered for next year. Go ahead, Jared.
No, I'm just saying. You look at the Grizzlies. Is it talent? Are they do they have better talent than we do?
There's a word.
Are they just intellectually better than we are? That's what it looks like.
I think
Tyus Jones
Duke
had
4 years.
I think both. I
think
think
Tyus
both.
4 years.
No,
Two. Sorry,
I think it's both, man.
Bro,
it's talent and IQ, but we're missing both. We're missing talent and we're missing IQ.
That's what
we're definitely missing both.
That was my whole argument. We don't have either.
Like if we had IQ, I wouldn't even be tripping on the talent right now. That's what I'm saying.
It would catch up at some point.
Yeah, you would catch up to it.
Because what we're getting sick of, and like it's just like you go into the Suns game last night, and I already said this, but like I didn't expect to win.
No,
but like I expect to beat the Magic. Like I expect to I think I got in with Beignet Boys' Twitter handle. Like I love him, but he's like, why is this a must win? Because you're gonna look back at the end of the year and be like, how did we lose the Orlando Magic? One of the worst teams in the league.
Yes.
Like we're 1-5 in our last 6 in the most important stretch of the year. And you have a 3-game road trip, San Antonio, who's probably gonna beat Thunder tonight. And then if they beat you, I think they jump the Pelicans from what I think, or they're tied.
I thought
they had the win, they had the break, they got the
tiebreaker.
Yeah, they got the tiebreaker. So you got San Antonio, then you got Atlanta, and then you got Charlotte. And this is back to my point of, can Brandon Ingram please play a little bit injured? Is he 100%? Probably not. But I'd rather take him at 70% because I guarantee you can handle San Antonio with 7% Brandon Ingram. And Atlanta and Charlotte, you can win one of those.
I have a question it's not even related to anything you just said, but I was just thinking about this, like watching the game last night. I know I saw Trey got minutes, but like why feels like Wallace gets more minutes than Trey? And
why didn't we go to a 7? I was talking to somebody today. Like I felt like last night we should have just gone with like a 7-8 man rotation. Like we were going deep into the bench. Like I felt like we had like Phoenix at the end of the half, and like in the third quarter, we went on like a really nice run. Like I think we're down 2. I'm like, holy shit! Like we're in this game.
Yeah.
And then Nigel Marshall comes in, Jose Alvarado comes in,
and we weren't.
The new Wallace, is that his name? That guy is getting like 15 minutes a night. I'm like,
no clue where he came from.
I almost rather Tony Snell, like to your point, Lita. Like I almost rather Tony Snell than him. He's an IQ guy, at least. Like this guy was running around like it didn't look like he played basketball.
And he's long. Snell is at least long. You know what I'm saying? He's been in these positions before. He's been on playoff contending teams. So like, not Josh Hart, but you know.
Yeah, I don't understand rotations. I think Willie has to get better at that.
I'm glad you brought that up because I don't think his rotations have been very good.
Yeah.
I think he's been very good in a lot of aspects of a rookie coach. I think his rotations, and this goes back to the Garrett Temple minutes, the Trey Murphy DMPs, all that different kind of stuff. I don't think he's been that great.
How do you grade a coach? How do you say,
question.
All right, this is what I want, these 4 things.
Adjustments.
Yeah.
ATOs, all that different kind of stuff. Communication is obviously a big thing.
Yeah.
Those 3, but you have to be, in order to be a good coach, you have to be able to adjust because you can game plan all you want, but that gets quickly changed.
I see it as how your team comes out to play.
Preparation. Sure.
Even beginning of the game, halftime, can you adjust? ATOs, timeouts, games management, and rotations. Like
before I cut you up, do you think he's good at taking timeouts?
I think he's good at moments at taking timeouts. Like he will let you play through it, and I think there's a balance there.
Sure.
Like you have to allow people to learn, hey, I'm not going to be here to save you. Like Alvin Gentry used to call timeouts like they were just unlimited or something. Like, yo, chill, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's moments where he doesn't take the timeout and it works. There's sometimes where he doesn't take the timeout and it doesn't work. So,
and that's for every coach.
Yeah. And this is his first year. So I assume that he's going to get better at that. But now his rotations all year have not really been great.
So the tenants that you mentioned, is rotations the only one you feel like
that'd be the only thing. That's why I'm not saying that I think he's a really
shout
good
out
coach.
to Chaz.
Like Chaz has a point, and I always give him that credit because his rotations really don't make sense.
Because we talked about it for a while now, is the Garrett Temple minutes.
Yeah.
And it was just clear as day that he was just not productive on either side of the court. And that goes to what is Coach Green not seeing? Like, why is he not adjusting? And he finally made the adjustment after the All-Star break. They win 4 in a row. Everything's looking good. And then COVID.
We all saw it.
Hamstring.
We all saw it. He was the only person who did not see it.
So do you think, to your point, Jarrett, and Lito, I'm asking this, do you think he's a little bit hard-headed? Is it a rookie head coaching mistake? Like,
I think it's trust. I think he trusted Garrett.
Trust.
He's which I'm cool with because I understand it. As a player, you're like, he's never giving up on me. Like he hasn't gave up, like even in the detriment of the team. I think that's where it's like, oh, yeah, I need to take a step back.
Yeah, even when the kill, like even when the kill was
struggling. Can I bring up an example of where I think that went wrong as a coach last year is when Sam Van Gundy trusted Eric Bledsoe and didn't play Kyra Lewis.
Oh, for sure.
Right. Like that, but that goes back to the point of adjustments. Like I trust you, but if you're not doing your job, I gotta be able to have the balls to like switch it around and be like, no, we're not doing it this way.
Eric Bledsoe was the only one that Stan Van Gundy trusted at this point.
Which was insane. Insane.
The whole team trusts Willie Green, though. Like,
right.
There's a sense of trust.
Listen, I think Willie Green's been, if you give me a grade, I think he's like a B+, A-. I think he's been great, but it's also okay to like critique a little bit of things that he hasn't done well.
We're just going to come up with another word. So people
so don't freak out. Yeah. So, let's get back and forth. So I want to talk about Devin Booker. I think he's just a special talent, but I also want to talk about the matchup with Devin Booker and Herb Jones. Herb Jones came out yesterday. He's a top 8, I think, in the NBA.com rankings or something. He's top 8. I don't know exactly the position or whatever it is, but to be a rookie, and I know he's a 4-year guy from Bama, and to be in the names of Mikal Bridges, Rudy Gobert, all those, Marcus Smart, that shows you how special he is. Yeah. And I don't care if he scores 0 points tonight, he affects the game. And last night, Devin Booker was incredible. But in the second half, you kind of saw a little bit more of an adjustment, running off of him a little bit, running off him, like kind of getting on his hip, and he started missing shots and things like that. But Herb Jones, every single night, and I'll start with you, Lito, gets the best player. And as a rookie, I'm waiting for him to falter, and he just I'm waiting for somebody to hang like a 50 burger on him, and he just doesn't.
Herb is an artist. A lot of times you hear that comparable to people on offense, like offensive Kyrie. Like you look at you look at that 60 he put up. That's artistry. Yeah. Herb does the same thing on defense though. People just don't take the same pride in defense as Herb does. It's like an artistry. If you look at his footwork, you look at where his hands are. You look at he's 2 steps ahead of the play before it's happening. He's in the passing lanes. It's like a dance. And he's got the rhythm of it already. You know what I'm saying? You speak IQ, man, don't get much higher. Like it does not get much higher IQ wise. Man, Devin Booker is
special.
Devin Dan Booker. Like it's nothing you can do with him. He has no weaknesses offensively. He is nothing. If you take something from him, he's got 40 other things that he can do. Yep. Especially the way that Monty uses him, like you said, running him off action, putting the action around him. It's like, what am I going to do? At one point, he had, I think there were 3 picks. He got off that, he came back, and there was another pick. As a defender, what am I supposed to do?
You're running through 4 screens. It's tough, and there's dribble handoffs and pin downs and things like that. He's just special. But there's a comparison that went last night saying he was being compared to Ray Allen. Yeah, and Five, I wanted to give you the floor on that.
All right. Ray Allen's my favorite player. That's my favorite player to the point where when he went to Miami, and I don't like LeBron, I just rooted for Ray Allen. Like I didn't even root for the team. I just rooted for Ray Allen. Like when he hit the shot, I really didn't know how to react. I was like, shit. Like it's up and down. But when I see Devin Booker, at no point do I see Ray Allen. At no point do I see. His footwork, they have different rhythms. Yeah. Devin's is Kobe-esque. And I know he doesn't like that comparison, but it is. It looks like Kobe. It feels like Kobe. I mean, he's just not Kobe, but it feels that way. It's the mid-range, it's the constant attack, it's the death by 1,000 slashes. He's getting you up under pump fakes. Ray Allen didn't do that. No. It's more, Ray Allen's more now, I mean, later in his career was more coming off screens. He did it early, but coming off screens, shooting threes, pull-ups, that was more like Rip Hamilton. I kind of felt like that, and he would get to the rack. But at no point did Devin Booker is like Ray Allen, but they're both great players. Devin is, I think, will be a better player than Ray Allen.
Yeah, I think Devin, his angles and the way he uses his body is really impressive. Like you've seen like a dude that just he was good. Then he worked like really on his craft of like, okay, I see this now, and now I got to work on this. And that's why it's so important to make the playoffs, because you're guarded so much differently. Yeah. And Brandon Ingram has never experienced that. Like you think of all like Think of the Kobe story of like how he's shooting air balls. Like playoffs is a whole different beast. I got to work on this. I got to work on that. I got to work on this. Like Donovan Mitchell, same thing. I got to work on this. Like I need Brandon to experience what it's like the game plan, like for a do or die situation. He's like, shit, they took this away. I need to work on this. And Booker's like really taken that to the next level. Like Booker's like just like exploded. And like Jason Tatum, another guy. Yeah. He's been in the playoffs the last couple of years. Like you're starting to see his game he just keeps working and getting better and better and better.
He was in the playoffs his rookie year. I think
he's always been in the playoffs.
That
right?
dunk on LeBron. Yeah, that was in the playoffs. Yeah,
but you think of all the greats and like I think of Brandon Ingram as a great offensive basketball player. He's got to be able to see what that looks like because it's a whole different beast.
I think he needs to see what it feels like. My bad, leader.
No, you good. Go ahead.
I think he needs to see what that feels like.
Right.
The energy,
it's important.
The fandom, the opposing teams, like to go on an away game and see if you can get one. It's different
because like in the NBA, you're game playing for 2, 3, 4 games ahead. Like this guy's playing, game playing for Minnesota and then Atlanta. The game plan is you. Like that's the whole game plan. So the coaches now and tech guys and like they're all keyed in on Brandon and Zion. And like that's a whole different beast. Like he needs to experience. So when I see that we're close and like. People are like, oh, 9, 10. I don't give a fuck. Like, if you're in the playing game, I guarantee I guarantee you at 7 p.m. you're on your couch or at the game watching.
Yes. Do you?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, do you feel like Brandon Ingram can reach Devin Booker's? I don't even know what to call it, man.
Devin's more explosive, in my opinion. Devin's quicker. B.I.'s smooth.
Yeah.
Devin's like.
Do you feel like B.I. can reach the point though where he'll have like no offensive weaknesses that like, there's nothing you can take from him?
What are you gonna say? I'm gonna let you go.
I don't like
sure show. I'm just
I mean, he's to the point now where I think like what can he get? I know his 3-point shots taking a dip.
Sure.
But like he's at the point now, like I feel like he is unstoppable.
I think it's him being consistent. When he gets to that point where even on a bad night, he's gonna get that's when you're gonna know.
When he gets to the free throw
line. But do you think he can get there? Do you think it's possible?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, you hear about his work ethic all the time. Like you heard, like I didn't realize about the 3 days that was going on in Phoenix. Like Willie Green just said that.
Phoenix is hot, bro.
Like I don't know. Like I was shocked. And like Brandon's a worker and things like that. Like he's incredible. His offensive like talent. Like let me ask you this. What could he get better at? And you can't really say the 3-point shot because it's been taking a dip. Sure, you can get. What could he get better at?
I think the only thing for me is, I mean, we can go down the list. He's got his teammates involved now.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing defense. He has like mid-range jumpers or layups. The only thing is just like Five said, just being consistent. That's all I got for him.
When you say consistent, playing or like showing up like what do you mean like when you say consistent?
Both. Health.
I think that is a huge deal.
Yes, health, because the same thing we used to say about AD, right? Like AD was whatever you ranked him, top whatever, right? And I'm looking at people looking at AD now like
you're looking shaky in the light, brother.
But why? Because he doesn't
play. Like what he said about I hate to bring him up, but what he said about if he played, the Phoenix Suns would have lost against the Lakers in that playoffs last year.
I wish he would have said that about any other time he was in New Orleans. I wish he would have said that about any other time that he was in New Orleans.
He's just a punk. I don't fuck with Anthony Davis. Like and like the nation now, since he's on the Lakers, are now seeing like, oh, this is why.
I just want somebody nationally to be like, the Pelicans fans are right.
Because he's not that guy. He's never been that guy.
Man, listen, I remember when the comparison used to be, people used to they used to say that he was better than Kat and Giannis. Man,
I'd say like, he's better than Giannis is criminal.
That was the thing. Like on the timeline used to you know how like we love Jose Alvarado, right? I'm sorry I hate to do this, but like we used to say this guy was better than Giannis. This guy was better than Kat. He's not.
Do you think
skill-wise he is? Skill-wise.
Jared, do you think toughness in a player, in a great, when you think of the greats, right? You think LeBron, Kobe, obviously MJ, toughness plays into it? Because I feel like that's not talked about enough.
Mental toughness, yes. Yeah, because I think it comes from there. Like if you're not mentally tough,
sure.
If you can't think your way out of something and you're just going to play through it, that doesn't really.
Because if there is something he needs to improve on, it's that with Brandon. Because Brandon, I love Brandon Ingram. He's my guy. But I think this whole sore hamstring thing and like the Achilles thing, like, I feel like we need him. Like I need him.
Yeah.
Like we need him. Like we're 2-14 without him. We fucking need him.
So look, Kobe's my favorite player. It's only so many Mikes. It's only so many Kobe's. It's only so many Bryans.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Right. That's a good point.
Allen Iverson.
you know, like it's not too many people who just they'll like my leg, just cut it off. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but we're talking about a sore hamstring. I thought it was pulled. We're talking about a sore hamstring here. In the toughest part of I'm sorry, not the toughest part of the schedule, most important, because we had some cupcakes at home. Like Charlotte, like isn't like that good.
Remember when he hurt his Achilles? See, I think this
is what I'm going back to.
I think this is an issue where the Achilles might have like
affected the hamstring,
and then there's a slight pull. Brandon, if you ever hear this, bro, appreciate it. Come on the show.
We love you.
We love you.
Man, if you hear this, bro, we need you. We want you to play. We want games like this for you. You know what I'm saying? You haven't got to this level yet, or to a level where it's the playoffs. We want the city to have this. We need you to play.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, like, and I think as far as his national profile, like, I think that's one of the TNT game. Who did we play recently and Brandon didn't play?
Our ass kick
was Memphis.
Memphis.
Yeah. So every time we're on a big stage, we're usually missing somebody.
Always. And we always get our teeth kicked in.
And that's one of the things I think, his profile can't rise until we may not win these games, but at least, he shows up, we show up. But let me ask y'all this. Do y'all think it could be a thing where the training staff is holding
100%? I also think that too. I think it's a combo of it. Because you had the whole Zion thing in the bubble. Like it all started then. Like you got to look at it and be like these guys are sitting out weeks with just lingering issues. I get it. Like you don't want to mess up a hamstring. And like if this was game 45, like I wouldn't care, but this is game 70. Like we got 13 left. We're in the middle. I just can't tell you that it goes back to the playoff experience. Like you got to have that as a young team.
Do we not have the facilities for it or just not the people? I mean,
training staff?
I'm not saying that our training staff is terrible, but by all means, I have no intel or anything like that. I don't know anybody. I couldn't tell you the first thing about rehab.
Right.
That's a whole different study for people that have degrees for it. I'm just saying, is it to the point our facilities are not up to date, or do we just not have the people?
Well, they just did a renovation when Griffin came in a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but is it even comparable to what people see in other organizations?
I don't know. Well, let me address Jamal. I'm not saying that Brandon's I get he plays. I'm just saying at some point you gotta be able to play injured as well, especially in the middle of a playoff race. I want to clear that up. Everyone right now has lingering issues, lingering injuries.
We all hurt.
I'm hurting right now. Okay, I'm sore too. I'm
so
fucking with you.
Do we even if he does play injured? Nobody wants an IT situation. We're definitely not saying that where he had to play through an injury and he made his career worse. Right. Nobody wants it. Yeah, no. Take as much time. But man, if you want something that you say that you want, and there's an opportunity for it, even if you're injured, sick, whatever, if you want it, man, go get it. There's an opportunity for it.
And if I don't mean to cut you off. If this was an Achilles, and I said when he had the Achilles sores, I am perfectly fine. Chill.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm so take care of that. That is a devastating. This is a sore hamstring. I love him. I love Brandon, but once again, I can't emphasize we're in the middle of a playoff race. We gotta start acting like it.
Yeah. No,
we don't have our guy. I keep saying we're 2-16 without Brandon. Without Brandon, we're not gonna make the playoffs.
Look at the blended last night.
It was awesome.
Think about this.
Awesome.
We played the Suns. Yeah. Again, we know the Suns are the number one team in the league, but they're not a big draw nationally,
especially without Chris Paul. I don't think people are going to say, "Oh, I want to go see Mikal Bridges and DeAndre Ayton."
People smell it. It's an opportunity for it.
Thank you. Opportunity. It's an opportunity this team hasn't had for a while.
Yeah, man.
Not like this.
And Brandon's never had it.
Yeah,
Brandon's never made the playoffs. And I hate putting it all on his shoulders, but it's just, and it goes back to the front office, not bolstering the bench. But it's it's reality. We're not a winning team. We can't win basketball games without him.
I'd rather him fail trying than sitting out. I'd rather him fail trying because at that point, I know that you're the person, because New Orleans is all about we've failed sometimes trying, and if you do that, you don't even understand the love you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, nah, and yeah, I'm with you. I mean, we would. I mean, hell, we love Drew going out there with 0 arm left, just trying to
get it past the like a 10-yard like out route.
Just throw it past the referee, Drew.
Yeah, like, can you do that?
And yeah, man, like he's gonna be forever endeared for a lot of different reasons. But yeah, I'm with you. I do think that same thing with Zion. Like when he was in Portland or wherever, we just want to see you.
A video. Like Ross talks about all the time. Give me a fucking video of you sweating or doing jumpers. Everyone's flipping out over him doing dribbling exercise with Teresa Weatherspoon. Yeah. Like he's just going back and forth. That's all we wanted.
You could have had your homeboy shoot it with your iPhone, bro. Man,
like anything.
We're so low maintenance. It's crazy, man.
We're easily pleased. That's part of our problem. You know what I'm saying? We're easily pleased. We don't know no better, and that's okay. But man, just give us something, man.
But I want to wrap it up with this thought, Jared. It's because you said opportunity, and like that kind of struck me because everybody did show up last night. Oh, I'm not saying everybody. A lot of people on a Tuesday showed up, and the building was, like, correct me if I'm wrong, it was loud. Man, like it was loud. It felt like a playoff game.
Yeah.
And when you go there, you spend money, your kids and family, all that, and then you lose and go out and lose by 25. Like, you think they're gonna like opportunity?
Gas is high.
Like that's what I'm saying. Just opportunity. Like I just feel like you need to seize the moment right now. That's the thing. Like take this momentum, as you said in the bubble with the Suns, how they go perfect. Take this momentum, go and get that 9 seed. And if we lose the first round, we lose in the first round. Like it is what it is. We lose the play-in game. Do you think anyone's really that mad?
No, man.
No, you're gonna love the experience. We're all gonna get together. We're gonna watch the game.
Is it a home game?
So if we get the 9 seed, we host. We host the first one, and then we go to 7 or 8. Like, imagine that. Exactly. Like, we're
clamoring about one game. Like,
imagine just that day in New Orleans, Tuesday. We'll make it a whole day event.
They would have a second line, like, leading up to the blender. It would be
nuts. It'd be nuts. Yeah. They don't know. They don't know how we feel.
Brandon, please come back. Like, it sucks, though, that you have to put it on Brandon's shoulders because we're that bad without him.
No, it is. Because it's his team. It's him.
Oh, wow.
I'm saying it for him. It's his team.
There's no billboard outside for him.
Hey, they need one.
They do need one. I love B. I think he's great. He's a hard worker. I think he's an incredible talent. I just think, to your question, just answering your question, I think he needs to improve on that kind of toughness thing.
I'm with you.
It's just that.
I think he's tough. No, I think he's tough. I think he needs to be more boisterous, loud.
That's fair.
They don't respect it when you're quiet, when you're a humble superstar. Like you can't really like.
He's just so quiet. He's just chilled.
It's a laid back Southern guy. Like he's not
right
trying to like Herb. I mean, yeah, Herb hates when you make memes of him. Like he's asking his teammates not to post stuff.
Is he really? Really?
From what he asked Larry Nance not to post all the memes because Larry goes far. It's okay, and I like. See, this is the thing. I think New Orleans, Louisiana's Pelicans fans as a whole, we saw the incident in Staples with Brandon, and when he swung going, was that James Harden?
No, that
was Chris Paul.
Swung on Chris Paul, right?
Yeah. Chris Paul and Rondo went pointing.
Yeah. See, we know it's in you.
You see,
we know it's there. You showed it already. Like you showed your hand.
Yeah,
right.
Like we need that consistently. Like be that. I'm not saying punch people in the face. No, I'm just saying be that. Have that mantra, carry it with you.
Because that's us.
That's
us. I mean, Jerry Stackhouse is his mentor.
Yeah.
Like, what else do you need to know?
Yeah.
Let me address these two before we get out. All right. So Jay, we're not blaming. I just saying we're not blaming Brandon Ingram for sitting out. It is definitely a front office issue. Like I just said, we got to bolster up the bench. We got to get guys behind Brandon because I don't expect him to play 82 games, but he's gonna miss some games. So we need to bolster up the bench in the offseason. We just went over that, and then Jamal. 5, you can have this one. We have 14 games left. How many do you think BI plays? I'm hoping he plays all 14.
All right, so Friday, man, I hope. I'm saying 10.
So you think he's out? So you think
if possible
he'll miss the road trip?
Yeah, to be honest. If he misses the road trip, that means he stayed here to rehab, to get better, to get ready, to get repped up. That's the only. If he goes on the road trip, he better be playing. If he leaves to go with it, he better be playing.
Interesting. So, Lito, how many games? 14 left. How many think BI plays?
Sore hamstring. Man, 8.
Jeez.
I mean, it's just the way it's looking. Especially that's why I asked the training staff question, because if it's over his head, I don't.
That's another thing. It's not but like Jay. Like I think that we're talking about playing. Like we're 2-16 without Brandon. Like the playing is not an automatic thing. I just
we're not guaranteed.
The Spurs play the Thunder, which will be a W tonight. Then we go to San Antonio. And I think San Antonio gets another bunny, and then they come to us. That's what I'm trying to like realize. Like God, like I know like y'all think we're comfortable in the 10 spot. We're not.
No, we're not.
Like we're not. Like San Antonio's coming. So I mean, and we always seem to get our ass kicked by San Antonio. So
honestly, I've not felt comfortable this whole time. Like until this is concrete, like it's over. That's when I'm gonna be like, all right, cool.
I was pretty confident. I was pretty comfortable at 10. I was like, I want 9, but now I'm like a little murky with Brandon's situation because it's sad. Like I feel like I'm like we're talking circles, so we gotta get off here. But it is sad that we're 2-16 without him. It shows you depth wise we're not very good, and talent wise / IQ wise we're not good without our guys. And like I get it. If you're missing BI and Zion, you should team's probably be that good. But we haven't had Zion all year. It just shows you that when Brandon goes out.
I think we've watched enough basketball games to be like, we could have won that game if we just would have played smarter without them.
Orlando, Orlando's the recent memory, but Orlando's a perfect example.
Yeah. Can BI win most improved again? Because
they're not
I wouldn't even want that. Like, I'm not even doing that. I'll do that.
Jay, how many do we need to make a play? And we're up a game on San Antonio?
Up a game. Let's see.
And the Lakers are up a game on us, right?
Game and a half.
So
we need to at least go 500.
All right, so we have 14 games left. I had this. We have to put 500.
At least
7-7.
At least 500.
But Lakers have the toughest schedule. I think Mason Ginsburg tweeted this out. The Lakers' schedule is like a joke.
Yeah,
it's the gauntlet.
Damn.
The Pelicans have an easy schedule, and so do the Spurs. Like the Spurs. I'm sorry. Out of the 3, the Pelicans have the easiest schedule, but I keep saying that we're 2-14 without Brandon.
Do you think the Lakers want to even get in the playoffs?
I think they're so sick of each other. I think they want to ship out Westbrook. I think LeBron is so miserable that they don't care.
Yeah, he's just trying to get points.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, it could be like where San Antonio jumps to the fucking 9 seed.
They got Bron has to score 50. If he doesn't score 50, they lose. It doesn't matter.
And when he is scoring 50, they lose by 20. So like if he doesn't score 50, they lose by 40. Yeah. So the Pelicans get the Lakers twice and the Spurs twice. So to that point, we control our own destiny, which is nice to have.
Yeah,
guys. Again, I hate to be negative here.
Go ahead.
I just don't see it, man.
You don't see us making the play-in?
Nah,
really?
Nah, I don't.
That's the New Orleans in you to say that.
We've been hurt so much.
I'm just being so you know how we talk about logic. You told me use based on logic. Yeah. I'm just looking at what's in front of me.
I see us having an easy schedule. I see LeBron having to carry a team at age 37, and they cannot get in rhythm. They do not like each other. Russell Westbrook is shooting like 9% from 3.
This is facts.
After the playoff, after the All-Star break, it is insane. But I think we have an opportunity. I'm just not going to be like, oh, we're not going to be in it, because we're in a position to do it. Now, if we say we don't make it, I'm cool with that. I can accept that, but I don't want to accept it.
Losses to Orlando, for me.
Okay, that's why I told Beignet, boy, it's my guy. But he's like, this is not a must win. I'm like, well, when the season's over and you look back at your losses, you're gonna be like, how did we lose to Orlando?
It's games like when we played the Nuggets.
Oh God, did Brandon hurt his hamstring in overtime? I think someone tweeted at me like that's soul crushing that BI actually heard in overtime.
It's messed up. We let that game get to that point, right? Why was Jokic not doubled sooner? Like, why did we start doubling him in overtime? And it doesn't matter regardless. But I'm just saying, in my opinion, like I'd rather somebody else beat us.
Absolutely,
yeah. And so the young teams, inexperienced teams, allow stuff like that to happen. Not just losing that game. Not just losing that game, because I feel like that game not only cost us that game, but it cost us the next 2.
Yes.
We lost 2 games in a row. 4 in a row?
3 in a row.
3 in a row. So I think that loss just made us lose the other ones because we just couldn't get over it.
Because Brandon went out, lost to Memphis, lost to Orlando.
And we won. I thought we won the next one. After we lost to Orlando,
we just went on a 4-game losing streak though, and then
was it 4 games? We won a game between it.
It was 4 games. Then we beat Houston, then we lost last night, so 1-5 our last 6. I think.
I'm just saying, man, based on what they put in front of me,
right there. Why couldn't we hit free throws?
Exactly.
If Devonte Graham just goes up and hits 2 free throws, that goes back to the Devonte Graham thing.
Yes. And look, I understand the refs were very bad. I'm not letting the refs off the hook that game. We still should have won the game, though.
You know what? I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad you said that, right? Saints play the Rams.
Correct.
Y'all lose the playoff games.
Yeah. We're not bringing up the NFC Championship. Are we bringing up the NFC?
Yeah, because I know what you're about to say. I'm ready.
Because you just said what we had it in our hands still. Right. We had an opportunity to win the game.
Right.
And we didn't win it.
But here's the difference in that. Drew Brees on the last pass he threw, he got hit in the face with a hand. That is a penalty. That is roughing the passer.
That's what y'all.
I'm telling you.
Wait, hold up. I know we're getting Saints. Can we talk about it? Can we talk about it? Cool. Wait, no. I want to talk about it because where I think 5 is right is where we fucked up. We're 1st and goal, and Drew Brees has the call, and he hits that slant pass 99 out of 100 times. It's Drew Brees' call. It's 1st and goal. MT does or 2nd and goal. We're running the clock. It's a choice where either Michael Thomas, we hit him on the slant or we hand it off. And Drew Brees pegged it into the ground, and that stopped the clock. The Rams took a timeout or whatever, and then the whole shit happened, right? Yeah. Where we had to hit the field goal.
Yep.
I think what 5 is trying to say is that at some point, the players do have some responsibility of losing the game. Like we're also missing out is that Brandon Ingram missed a free throw.
Yeah.
Brandon Ingram.
I'm talking about just players in general, like our team. We should have won the game.
I just
feel like those 2 losses are different. I feel like
they're completely different. Yeah, of course they're different.
I'm just saying, have the same logic when you're referring to sports. Like, I was once a referee.
That's crazy. That you were a referee.
I couldn't see that.
No, I loved it. I loved it.
That's why I keep hearing.
So think about this: refs have bad days.
100%.
We don't see everything. There's no way we can. There's no way. You have to make that call in a split second. I told myself, just make the easy stuff. Like, don't try to overcomplicate it. See what you call. If you saw it, call it. That's it. If you didn't see it, or if you thought you saw it, don't call it. You better know. That's it. Because basketball is freedom. It's let people play. They decide the game. I do not decide the game. I just call what I see.
Can we talk about the superstardom? I can't believe we're still going, but this is a good conversation because can we talk about the superstar calls that, like, for instance, Devin Booker got last night? If you touch him, Herb Jones gets foul. Like, what is that about then?
Go ahead. I think it's more about I said go ahead. And I started that's so bad.
Go ahead.
No, I think that's about, like, if you play basketball, like, I think referees need to play basketball.
100%.
I think they need to understand the game changes, right? And plays are different now. The rhythm's different. If you don't know that rhythm, you see it and you're like, oh, that's a call. Also, this game's about those players is more importantly. So if they're in the game and something happens to them in the air, or if it's a touch, something where, because a simple touch can alter your shot, especially for somebody 100%. Like Devin Booker. So he gets touched and it looks off, they're probably going to call that. They're probably going to give it to him. Especially on somebody like a rookie like Herb Jones, because you're putting a rookie on somebody that's going to get calls. If that's Marcus Smart, maybe, or if that's
But we just talked about it, 5. Like, Herb Jones is now in the same sentence as Marcus Smart. I don't care if he's a rookie or not.
But that's how they move. That's how they move. You don't get it by just playing 1 year or having one stretch of a season where you're really good at something. No, you get that by years, and then they know your names. They know your family name. They know, like, these are people too. These are people too.
I feel like what we said earlier about Brandon Ingram, Devin Booker is very demonstrative after he does not get what he feels should be a call. A lot of superstars are. Probably Giannis is probably the only other one that comes to my head that's kind of chill. Like, Kawhi. I'm not really gonna go.
Probably
Kawhi.
Yeah.
But if you look at Jokic, Embiid, Book, Bron, whoever you consider a superstar, like they have conversations with referees. You know, they pull them to the side maybe, or maybe they get demonstrative. Maybe they get a tech just to prove a point. BI's not really doing that. And that's what I'm saying about them taking him for granted.
That's a really good point. I'm glad you brought that up because that is something. And it's not, and I'm glad you brought it up because there's a way to go about it. Like the way Luka does it is nauseating.
Oh my
right.
God.
Like it's like, you know, it's like, all right, dude. Like, but like when people pull the refs aside during a free throw or timeout, or like I'm seeing, I think one of the best to do it, he's not a superstar, is Pat Bev. Like I watched Pat Bev 10, 15. He's very good at communicating with the ref. And
I
like,
think he's like Gary Payton.
He's a huge IQ guy. He knows how to communicate. He's always tapping him on the ass. Like he's kind of like a friend of the refs. But I'm glad you brought this up because you got two guys that are mutes, Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram, who get fouled just as much as Devin Booker and Jokic and get hit. And they don't get the fall and they don't get the call because they know B's not gonna really say anything, or they know Zion's not gonna say anything.
Yeah.
And as a ref, you're like, well, I don't have to call it. They're not gonna expose me.
Because it's like you ever got into like an altercation with like a bully or something like that. They don't respect you until you stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the league is, right? Like especially referees. Until you tell me something,
right? You're not
like some people feel like, and I've dealt with like old dudes that have been on a rotation with me, and like, yeah, I'm not giving him that until they do something. Like they play these games as if they're like part of the game.
It's the same. Anthony Davis had the same problem. Like AD was not really like a guy that would like bitch or like go talk to the refs. Like he I think later on, like I think one ejection, like I vividly remember, was against Cat.
Yeah,
against the Timberwolves, like his second to last year, he like lost his shit. And like I was like, thank you, like this is awesome. Like because he would get hit all the time too. But I think it's an art or communication problem with Brandon. Like
I think that having a president of the Players Association on your team
that helps.
Is going to help with this. I think that CJ is going him in the locker room is going to show Zion, is going to show Brandon the correct way to go about it. You know, like Zion feels like a humble guy. Feels like, you know, hell, Zion's a superstar. If we want to keep it a buck, like he doesn't play. He hasn't played 5. I know what you're about to say.
No, I'm about to say he done got 2 coaches fired. That boy's a superstar. He's a superstar.
But he still doesn't get the calls that he deserves
because he hasn't played yet. Because all right, from the outside, yeah, superstar. But on the court, these referees are about consistency in the relationships. Until you build that relationship with them, you start to understand who likes to call what. You like to say who's more tight on their calls and who's more loose, or what did it, because these referees are just like people. They have things that they like to call or that they look for because that's what has gotten them to said point in their career, because they're really good at calling this, or they're really good at this. Yeah, they're really good at rotating. You know, say they have the right angles. Some referees have bad angles, and players know that. So man, it's
interesting.
Yeah, man,
I want to dive more into that in definitely another episode.
Oh yeah, for sure.
No, Lito, Jarrett, can't thank y'all enough for joining us. I know. Make sure you check out the Godcast. I know you're coming back tonight. I'm excited. So it's always a good show. Who you got? You got
man. I got. Of course, Five is coming back. I got Five, and I got this guy Paco Trasclair. He's a local rapper from New Orleans.
Nice.
So I'm trying to get the Pelicans to play a song at halftime, man,
or
during the game or something like.
We get Chris Connor in there. Is
Chris gonna be there?
Durag Slim. he's got a lot of nicknames. Durag Slim, Jetski Slim.
He's gonna be in
the cookie. I'm not understanding the Girl Scout, the Cookie Scout cookie or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, because he be pushing cookies, man. Like
you gotta get.
That's fine. That's our guy.
We gotta get him away from those cookies.
He's something. So no, thank y'all for joining once again. Presented by Company Burger. If you're watching on YouTube, it always helps out. It helps all of us out. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, all that stuff. So once again, Lito, Jarrett, Justin Apley signing out.